Don't litter the house. Don't spill drinks on the floor. Fold your clothes. Where have you heard these 3 statements before? It's probably with your mom at home when she was so frustrated with you not doing things. And then she would keep telling you these things so that it gets ingrained in your head so that you would keep doing them again and again and again. Why is that? So that things would be in order. So that things don't look out of place. Basically so that you can maintain rules and order. Now, if that's the case at home and you actually do these things every day, why isn't that the same case with your friends, let's say? Why is it that everybody who comes into your life almost has a season ticket pass? They can come into your life however they like, whenever they like, and whoever it may be. It's not like you have a metric system, or it's not like you have certain regulations against certain people coming in and certain people not. Now, why is that the case, and how can you maybe understand who is meant to be in your life and who is not? That is what this video is going to be about. See, life is like a bag of crisps, but we don't know which one we're going to get. Are we going to get a bad one? Are we going to get a good one? What is actually the difference? It's probably based on how salty the chip is. Like, let's say I take this one chip. It may be a good one, maybe a bad one. This might be a very bad one. But maybe it's a bad one because it's way too salty, or maybe there's not enough salt. And so we don't like this too much. But now if I take this chip is absolutely perfect because it has the exact amount of sodium content that we want. There's the same thing with people as well. And when you take people, on the outside, the difference doesn't seem too large. In fact, they almost seem the same. People who are nice and people who are bad, generally they're all nice people, but it's just about how these people react to certain triggers. Are they incensed by certain actions that are taken? Are they calm under certain situations? That is how you determine whether a person's cool or not, just by seeing them. Can you ever tell whether a person's good, whether a person's composed? No, right? There's more things that you need to find in detail, which are probably hidden behind their faces, behind a facade maybe, but you have to see through that. Now, I've said all this. Now you probably are saying, Robin, I want a plan right now. What can I do? So, okay, I'm not going to make you wait too much. Let's get into it right now. The first thing that you want to do is you want to conduct an analysis of your life. You want to see where exactly am I good, where am I bad? Because we have to draw up our own positives and negatives. That's when you know where exactly we need to improve. What do we not want to change as well? That's another thing. People think we need to keep improving. Yes. But at the same time, you already have skills that you might be very good at that you probably don't realize. Now, we want to find those things. And maybe you happen to know one of those things. If you don't know, you might want to do some other research. You want to see how exactly you can get there. But let's say you do know what those are. Let's say you know that you have amazing work ethic. This means no matter what, no matter how any other person is treating things, you know that you will be on top of things. You're probably in the top 10% of people with good work ethic. This means you probably don't want to associate with somebody who has work ethic in probably the bottom 10% of humanity, because if that's the case, when you take positive and negative habits, the positive habits are less likely to influence the other person than the negative habits are to influence person A. So if that's the case, then you probably want to be with people who are very similar to you, who are on your similar wavelength. So whenever you're finding a new friend, whenever you're finding new people to include in your own life, you want to make sure that these people are people who already bear the positive skills that you have. So if you're already renowned for your own work ethic, then you probably don't want to deviate too much from that. You probably want people similar to you so that you can keep developing that work ethic. In fact, if they're better than you, it's all the better because you can learn things from them as well. You can see what is it that they're doing that I'm not doing so that I can boost it even further. So you want people either at the same wavelength or just above you. That is the best way to include skills that you already have. Now, the second thing is you want to find things that you're already lacking in or things that you want to remove from your life completely. Now, let's say that you are a heavy drinker. By nature, you are addicted to alcohol and just can never get rid of this drinking problem. And when you try to analyze your life, that's when you understand it's because of a few select people who keep inviting you to bars and clubs. They don't mean any harm, obviously. But the thing is, when they invite you over there, you're not going to just sit there doing nothing. You're probably going to get a drink or two. And that drink or two goes on to 4, 5 or 6 till you pass out. And then the next day you realize, I want to cut it out completely. I don't want to keep drinking. Why am I drinking again and again and again? The truth is that's because you associate with those kind of people. You associate with people who keep pulling you into that kind of environment. It's fine if they ask you once or twice and then you say no, and then they understand your sentiment and then they leave you be. But some people just don't understand that. They will keep calling you again and again and again, even if you have overtly said no. In that case, you have to move them away from your life, move them away from influencing you heavily. So for that, just hang on for the next segment where we're going to talk about how, very similar to a previous video I did, you can see it linked here, where we're going to almost rate our friends but based on certain metrics. So when you talk about inviting new people into your life, you want to account for a few things. And these few things are what people call rules. When you talk about rules, you can determine it however you like based on how your life is. It's not going to be the same for everybody, but these rules are going to be the cornerstone of your life and how you want people to treat you in your own life. How you're going to approach people, how people approach you. Everything is determined by these few rules. Now, what can these rules look like? I'm going to give you a few rules that you could use yourself. So for number one, we have, what dynamic do you want with this new person? How close are you willing to let these people into your own life? Now this means, do you want this person to have a bit part role in your life? Do you want this person to have a crucial role in your life? This all depends on the kind of person that there is. Like, they could have certain good qualities that you want, or they could just be fun to hang around with, but maybe they don't offer you much more value apart from that. So maybe you want them to be a bit part role in your life. Maybe you want them to have a bit part role in your life, but maybe not a crucial one, because for a fun night out, they're an amazing person. But apart from that, you probably don't like them a lot. So is that person really worth it? Well, yes, but just to a certain role. At the same time, let's say you have a person who helps you out. Let's say you have a person who helps you out massively to work on yourself, but maybe when you go out with them, they're not the best. In that case, they should probably have a crucial role in your life because they help you grow. But they're not going to be there with you every single second of the day, because if you want a fun night out, maybe that's not the person you call. Maybe that's somebody else. So that's another role that they have. And you want to place people in these kind of roles so that you know who to go to for what. And second thing is, how close are you willing to bring these people to your inner circle? So you know those group of people that you already have in your mind, that could be your friends, your closest friends, that is your close friend group, and your parents, and anybody who you'd rate above an 8 or a 9 out of 10 in your own life. Do you think those people are going to be willing to associate with this friend before inviting him and laying on secrets, laying on crucial truths that you might not share with everybody? You want to see, is this person trustworthy? Is this a person that I'm willing to share my information with? And once you know that this person probably is on par with your close circle, maybe let's say they also get an 8 or a 9 rating, then you know, okay, it is probably safe to trust them. But then again, we know of many people, right? You probably know of people who've done you wrong, who've done your friends wrong, who they thought they were trustworthy people. But then when you get to know them, you understand they were just hiding behind a face. They were probably lying to you. So it's not very easy. And the fourth thing that you want to check is, what kind of positive characters do they bring in, and how many positive characters do they bring in to your life? And how good are they at each of these characters? How much can they show you so that you can improve your own life? Because each of these characters, depending on who you are and how you behave, you have different ratings for yourself in each of these metrics. How good is that person compared to you? If he is superior to you in each of these characters, these positive characters that you want to introduce in your own life, then you definitely want them to be a part of your life. But by how much? And that's when finally, once you have all these ratings, then you want to create almost an average, and then you want to see, how do they relate to people you already trust? Are they worthy enough to be in your life? Do you want them to be a part of your life? Or is it that you're just hanging on to them just because you want to or because you need to? And trust me, this rating system can be very dangerous, because as much as I do recommend this, I don't recommend this for people who you already do have trust in. Why is that? Why do I say this? That's because when you do such analysis of a person, when you really try to understand a person that you do trust, you could find out some flaws. And what is the thing with flaws? When you find a flaw in somebody, it's very difficult to unsee it. Once you've seen it once, then that thing is gonna be at the back of your mind every time you see that person. And so if you don't want to get to that point with somebody, and if you don't want to see them in bad light because you do actually trust them completely, in that case, I don't recommend this for you, for that person at least. Do not do it for them, because what's more worth it? Do you want that relationship or do you not? Because if you're doubting them, then it's probably a safe bet, because you want to know exactly if is this person meant for me or am I wasting my time with them. So now that you have these rules in place, next step is probably to make friends with these rules that you have, right? Now, if you want to do that, you guys can check out the video linked on the right to find that out for yourself. So smash subscribe, slap a like on, and always remember, never stop dreaming. See you all.